Hi everyone, I'm Meredith Abbott, Culinary Director for Sur La Table, and welcome to On the Table. Today I'm going to be making these gorgeous dark chocolate strawberry macarons. They are a showstopper, and with a little bit of practice, you can nail them every time. Okay, step one to making your macarons is aerating your almond flour and your powdered sugar. So you need a food processor. This step is important. I would not skip this. This is going to break up any clumps from the almond or in the powdered sugar. I'm just going to pulse it for about 30 seconds or so to break up any lumps and to also aerate and mix the two ingredients together. And I like to do this over 2 sheets of parchment paper. So set them side by side, place your sieve over one of them, bowl side up. We're just going to dump the almond flour sugar mixture through the strainer. Get everything out. This has been weighed and we want to make sure that we have that accuracy. And now I'm just going to go ahead and shake this through the fine mesh strainer, trying to keep it all onto your parchment sheet. You can also use your fingertips to kind of help push this through and just kind of switch back and forth between the two. Okay, and here is why I say to do this over parchment paper. We have our mound of the sifted ingredients. So set your strainer on your empty sheet of parchment paper. And then you can use this one, just fold it up. It makes pouring your ingredients very easy, just like so. So you're gonna repeat the sifting process for a total of 3 times. Now, at the end of the 3rd time, if you have less than about a half a teaspoon of almond flour still left in your strainer, go ahead and discard that. No worries. If you have more than a half a teaspoon of almond flour left in your strainer that didn't make its way through, you're gonna have to pulse your mixture again. All right, now here is the part that is probably the most crucial and probably the most intimidating for when making macarons. We're gonna make the batter to pipe the shells. So first we're gonna make a meringue, which is egg whites and a little bit of cream of tartar, and the cream of tartar just helps to stabilize the meringue once it's made. And I'm gonna start with a hand mixer for this. Start on low. And we're just gonna start frothing our egg whites. And you might start to get a little impatient at this point because this can take a while, but stop yourself from moving faster. The slower you kind of start your meringue, the tighter the air bubbles. They're smaller, so you're less likely to get those big air bubbles or hollow shells. So now that it's pretty frothy, I'm gonna increase my speed just to more of like a medium speed rather than medium-low. And once it gets to the point where it's really lightening in color, we're gonna start sprinkling in the granulated sugar. And we're gonna do this kind of slowly. You'll see that the meringue is starting to get some volume and it's really lightening in color. This is what you're looking for. Okay, the sugar's all in. We're taking this to stiff peaks, so it's gonna be really nice and voluminous. Okay, so this meringue is, look how it's lightened. It's nice and shiny, almost kind of velvety. And here's how you check for your peaks. Pull it out. Look at that peak, it's standing up. That's a stiff peak. Now it's time to add our food coloring. For macarons, I highly stress using a gel food coloring. Gel is just more concentrated. It's not going to add any unwanted liquid into this recipe. And because we're dealing with a meringue, so egg whites and sugar, this is already temperamental. So set yourself up for success and use a gel food coloring. This is about a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Today I'll be making strawberry macarons, so I want my shells to be pink. So just gonna work this in on low speed. Set this aside. And now I'm going to fold the rest of this together by hand. I just don't want to overmix my meringue. So there's still some whites that the food coloring hasn't touched yet. And that is ready for the almond sugar mixture. And start by adding 1/3 of this almond flour mixture into the meringue. And to incorporate this, I'm going to use a technique called folding. Folding is a great way to incorporate 2 mixtures together that have different textures. Now I'm going to add the rest of the powdered sugar and the almond flour in here. And I'm going to continue to fold until it's smooth. Now I'm going to keep stirring this. See how it looks kind of lumpy right now? There's a bunch of air pockets. It's not also super shiny, and it's not really coming off. It just kind of falls. That's not what we're looking for. We're gonna keep stirring this. Keep working it. So let's check this batter. Ooh, that looks like lava. And with the ribbon, it's holding its definition and then slowly melting back into itself. I just like to, one, twist. So your disposable piping bags will just look like big cones. We've got a medium open tip. That just means it's round. There's no stars or prongs in there. Give that a little twist, and that will keep the batter in the bag and not flowing out of the pastry tip. And then I just open it up and fold it over my open hand, just like so. Holds it in place, and then start loading in your batter. I also like to do this because then I can use the blade of my pointer finger to wipe my silicone spatula against, so that I'm making sure I'm getting all of that batter off, just like so. Once it's full, unfold that carryover. Use my fingers to kind of get it all down there in the bottom, and then squeeze. Ready to go. Okay, now it's time to pipe. You want to grab kind of a heavyweight, very flat half sheet tray. And then if you need, I like to do this, print out some circle templates. We have these on surlatab.com. Print out 2, and they fit perfectly in the bottom of your sheet. And then today I am using a silicone baking mat, great for use of projects like this. And they're also see-through enough where I can see my piping templates. If you are using parchment paper instead of silicone, you absolutely can. I would just take a little bit of the batter and make 4 dots, 1 in each corner, and that's gonna hold your parchment paper down. I've got my batter in my piping bag waiting for me, and I'm just gonna pipe enough to fill each dot. Just like so, pressing ever so gently. You're just piping enough to fill those dots. Perfect, okay. So now these are all piped. I'm gonna set these aside. We want the tops to dry out. Okay, so it's been about 30, 45 minutes. Sometimes it takes longer. I'm going to check to make sure that the tops are all nice and dry. And to do that, I'm just gonna take my fingertip and lightly tap the top. Nice and dry, my finger's not leaving any marks. So that lets me know that these are ready to go into my preheated oven. Okay, so the macarons have baked, they're cool, and I want to show you what you're looking for and why that drying step is so important. So when I carefully lift that off, you'll see that there's like a little bubbly edge under this beautiful little dome, and that's called a foot. So now I am going to match or mate all of my shells together. So you're just looking for ones that are similar size so that when you put the filling in between, they're the same size. So now we're ready to pipe. We're making dark chocolate strawberry macarons. Now we're gonna start piping the filling. And I'm just gonna pipe a ring around the edge. Okay, so just keep piping the ring of chocolate. If you want it really chocolatey, pipe a lot. If you want it more strawberry forward, pipe a thin ring. And this is just gonna hold the jam in place. Beautiful. We're gonna come in with some seedless strawberry jam. You can make your own or you can buy some. I put it in a piping bag for this one. I don't put a tip because it's just gonna come out on its own, and because we have the ring of chocolate, it's gonna hold it in place. So just come in and fill that dot full of the jam. Now that we have all of the chocolate and the jam piped, you're gonna press the two shells together just until the ganache comes to the edge of the macaron. There's great ways to customize these macarons. If you like this fruit and chocolate combination, you can make a milk chocolate ganache, you can make a white chocolate ganache, and you can also change up your jam flavors as well. You could use raspberry, you could use lemon curd and white chocolate. Ooh, so good together. And you just keep repeating this until you have all of your macarons matched and sandwiched. I'm excited. I love them. The mix of the dark chocolate velvety ganache around the edge, and then there's that surprise of the bright, sweet strawberry jam in the middle. Hits the spot.